Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, you're going to meet a true broadcasting legend. Mike Rhyner is in the studio. He's spent 47 years on the air. His incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I'm so excited for this show because I love interviewing disruptors, and Mike Rhyner is probably the king of the disruptors because he redefined what sports radio is in America today, and we're going to talk more about that in a minute. But Mike, thank you for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. Good to see you again, and
I'm
glad
honored
to be here.
I'm honored. I want to talk about what you're doing right now because you're doing some fascinating things with podcasting.
Yes. Once I got out of the game, I found that I wanted to do something. So I started doing a podcast, and it went along for about a year or so, but the guys that I was doing it with had no idea what to do with it. I didn't know that much about it either, so it just kind of fizzled out. And then a couple of years ago, we got the idea, Becca Moore, my partner, and I, got the idea to get it going again. And so we did. And long story short, we've now added, I think, 8 other podcasts.
That's awesome.
In addition to my own. And it's called Stolen Water Media. Go to www.stolenwatermedia.com. You can find everything I do and anything that any of the other podcasts are doing there.
And you make podcasting easy, so the client can just come in with an idea and you make it pretty for them?
Well, usually I'm the one that has the idea, and my idea is to talk to them and find out what they're all about, what they've got going. Sometimes they've got something going. Sometimes they've had something going and don't right now.
Sure.
But I just shoot the bull with them. That's really all it is, you know?
I love it.
I try to make it not real formal or anything like that.
Yeah.
We laugh quite a bit on there, and I don't take it real seriously, and I don't think they do either.
Wow. Well, congrats on
It's
your...
just a fun time.
All right, so I hope this episode doesn't sound like your obituary, but we're going to spend some time talking about your legacy. And I found this great piece from WFAA a few years ago. Let's go ahead and roll that.
For the last 2 weeks, there has been a void at the ticket.
Really sad to see him go because the ticket's not the same without him. He's the patriarch of the station, and we're all here because of him.
There's definitely an emptiness too. It just didn't feel right not to have Mike up here with us.
You know, I'm certainly, my intention is to get out later this week and visit his grave, attend to it. Oh wait,
he's not dead.
Die.
No, he didn't die.
That's
no,
right.
he's just retiring.
Right.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
Oh, I've been under the impression for 2 weeks that he passed away.
You need to rework your comments.
Oh man, I feel a lot better now, actually.
Yeah,
Don't do so much eulogizing. Just.
Oh.
No, he's not dead.
This was throwing out the first pitch.
Yes, Mike Rhyner is still alive and kicking, but he has retired after a Hall of Fame career, including 26 years on the hard line at sports talk radio powerhouse The Ticket.
He'll go down as one of the 2 or 3 biggest radio titans that this city has ever had.
This radio titan was a radio junkie from childhood.
When my friends were watching TV at night, I was in my room and I was listening to the Mighty 1190, KLIF. I always suspected that some way, somehow, I was going to have to pursue this at some time.
His first radio gig was at 98 FM The Zoo, KZoo, which broadcasts from studios inside this Young Street building of WFAA.
One of the guys down there was about to go to law school, and he needed somebody to come in and do his grunt work every day. I found out about this. I showed up, said, hey, I'll do it. I'll do it for free. And he says, oh, okay, come on in. Come on in. Walk with me. I'll show you what to do. And that was about the last I ever saw of the guy.
From then on, Rhyner was a radio guy.
It's 5:30 in the morning, and Mike Rhyner is already at work.
There was no plan B.
Quickly, Rhyner became an integral part of the zoo.
All right. Here's a tip for all these Americano League teams.
Wait, you said tip?
Yeah, tip.
Okay.
With a P.
I was in high school, and Mike came out to judge a battle of the bands at my high school, Arl Turner. My band did not win. I still hold that against him, but yeah, it was a big deal when Mike Rhyner from the Morning Zoo came out to our school.
Sports talk, though, was always where Rhynes was destined to land. It just had to exist first.
I went to vacation up in Chicago, went to a game at Wrigley once, and I listened to it up there. Went to Seattle once on vacation, listened to it there. And I started to think, okay, why don't we have this in Dallas?
And with that question came a revolution, especially because the ticket did it differently.
All sports radio before the ticket started, you had the Fan in New York and a couple of others, and they were really hardcore, nothing but sports, all X's and O's. And when we started, Mike said, hey, let's talk about everything.
Are made of skin and heart cells taken from frog embryos.
And I think that allowed all of us to become personalities, if you will, and allowed the listener to bond with us a little bit more. Because they knew us, they felt like they knew us, and they did know us. And I think that was all Mike's vision.
26 years worth of ratings domination and high-quality radio that has earned 3 national Marconis for Sports Station of the Year. Rhyner's vision has become an unquestioned success, but it's the relationships that he values most.
Those guys are my friends. We've weathered a lot of storms together through the years. We've been there for each other, and those guys mean everything to me.
But his favorite ticket memory is all about the listener, the P1, and how they came out in droves for ticket stock on the 25th anniversary of the station last year to show how much Rhynes and the gang mean to them.
From that day back in 1994, from those nights in the back of the bus when you were planning this thing out, the groundwork was being laid before you even really knew it, this is where you're at. And that was really neat. You guys stay hard. Keep jamming. And we'll see you.
And we were on the turf of a whole nother radio company.
And they didn't want us there.
Oh, they didn't want us there. Oh,
and when we found out they didn't want us there, that's when we just squatted harder and stay longer. And I remember just those days like that because it was so fun. There was a lot of uncertainty, but we know the uncertainty. And
we were just incredibly short-sighted. But that's the way we had to be, you know? If we started looking big picture at anything or, you know, way down the road or something like that, that would have been foolish because there was a greater than zero chance for us back then that there wasn't going to.
And we should point out that a reunion with you and Grego,
Yes.
another legend. When you look back on all those clips, it's not like you watch that video every night.
No, it's not. It's not. And that was well, it's kind of heavy, really.
Yeah. No, I mean, you truly are a legend. Take us back to the beginning, and then we're going to talk about what you're doing now. As they said in that video, sports radio was different. It was, you know, all Mavs, all, you know, it was like, you guys didn't talk about anything but sports back before the ticket came online.
Right. There was really no place to do it except for the 2 or 3 hour sports shows they had every night on KRLD and WFAA AM and WBP. But I would go on vacation and I would hear stations that did nothing but that. And I kind of liked it. And I came back here and told Junior and George about it. Or I think it was Grego, not George. Junior and Grego about it one night. And I said, why don't we have that here? And they just both looked at me and said, you couldn't do it here. It'd never work here. And I thought, what? Why? Why wouldn't it work here? It's apparently working to some greater or lesser degree there.
Yes.
Why wouldn't it work here? And they said, well, because you've got KLD, you've got BAP. Those are both big stations. You couldn't compete with them. And besides, what do you do when there's no game to talk about? And I realized that they'd hit on something right there, because the big thing was going to be managing the downtime.
Right.
And if we could figure out how to manage the downtime, that might at least get us started. Well, as things turned out, I was talking to a couple of guys who managed the downtime better than anybody I've ever seen. And once we started, we realized how we were going to have to do this, and that was by talking about stuff other than sports. When there's sports to talk about, you talk about it, and you do it enough to make sure that people know that, yes, you are a sports station. But what you don't do is hammer them over the head constantly with us.
Right.
And instead of doing that, you go off into other tangents. And what are those other tangents? Well, they're really whatever you want them to be.
Yeah.
You know, I thought nothing about telling people about what was going on with my very young daughter back then. Yeah. Or, you know, something I'd heard somewhere else on the radio, or something I'd read, something I'd seen on TV, something like that, you know?
Yes.
I thought nothing whatsoever about bringing that into the conversation and seeing what those guys thought about it. And fortunately, there was nobody better at taking something like that and running with it than the guys that I surrounded myself with at the ticket.
All right, how quickly did you climb up the charts? I mean, was it an overnight success, or did the audience just start to build?
It took probably about 9 months to a year, because this was all done according to ratings, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're familiar with those.
Yes. Just a little bit.
And it was all done according to ratings. And for the back then, ratings were taken 4 times a year. Now they're taken every month, or they were the last time I was in radio, which it all made a change since then. But back then, they came out 4 times a year, and whatever your ratings were, you had to live with that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Sometimes that was great. Sometimes it was not so great. And we kind of had to build it around that basis. But the thing about it is, once we got in there, nobody was really thinking about that. All we were thinking about doing what we thought in our minds was good radio. And fortunately, that kind of translated and transferred out into the masses.
And what was it like when you started to do ticket stocks and you actually get to see, you know, your fans?
It was a mind blow at first. You know, later on they kind of became the same, but that was the first time that we saw that, yes, there are people out there, lots of people out there that are into this.
Yes.
And they have latched on to what we're doing. They have latched on to us, and they will come out if we tell them to come out.
Wow.
And that was indescribable.
Yes. All right. I want to transition back to Stolen Water Media. What does a great client of Stolen Water Media look like for you?
That's a real good question. It looks like just about anybody.
If your check clears.
Yeah. We're still on the love all, serve all stage, as they say at the Hard Rock Cafe. But yeah, it's you know, we're kind of fumbling our way along with this, trying to figure it out as we go.
Well, you're in the I think the hottest space on the planet right now, which is podcasting.
Yeah, I think we are.
Right, every company in America is suddenly being told by their marketing firm, "We got to start a podcast. We got to start a podcast." So I appreciate what you guys are doing to serve the masses. Is it as much fun as it was doing daily radio?
Yeah, in a different kind of way, but yeah, it's kind of the same thing, you know. We go in there to do a podcast every day, and I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go. I'm not sure if I know everything that I need to know about whoever I'm going to be talking to, but that little bit of wiggle room that you have in there can cause you to take it into some different places.
Yes.
And sometimes that difference is really good.
All right, we have about a minute left, so look into the camera on the left and talk to the person who's got this itch they need to scratch and they're thinking about launching a podcast.
What I would tell you to do is do it. But you don't need to plan it out a whole lot. Just be able to go in there, and if you can wing it, just wing it, because it'll make it spontaneous, it'll make it fun, you'll have fun. Whoever you're talking to will have fun. If it's people you know, that's great. I'd love to do a podcast with, people I know. Those are my favorite ones. And I wish I had a regular one like that and to go along with this one. But right now we are where we are, so okay, we'll take that. And don't expect overnight results. You're going to have to stay with this for a while. It's always going to be a work in progress. So get your head around that and learn how to enjoy it.
Beautiful. Mike, thank you so much for sharing your story with us, and much more success to come.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you for having me.
You bet. Okay, we'll end with the website, which again is stolenwatermedia.com, the great Mike Rhyner. Thanks for coming on the show. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.